Senator.
Has Ben Bernanke cut rates aggressively enough?
I don't have that kind of expertise to know exactly whether he has cut interest rates sufficiently or not, and that's why I'm glad that whenever they cut interest rates, I wish interest rates were zero.
Senator McCain, you have said repeatedly, quote, I know a lot less about economics than I do about military and foreign policy issues. I still need to be educated.
We are in very challenging times. We all recognize that. Families are sitting around the kitchen table this evening and figuring out whether they're going to be able to keep their home or not. They're figuring out why it is that suddenly and recently someone in their family or their neighbors has lost their job. There's no doubt that we are in enormous difficulties. I think if you look at the overall record and millions of jobs being created, et cetera, you could make an argument that there's been great progress economically over that period of time.
We can't afford 4 more years of an economic policy that offers just one solution to every problem under the sun. Tax breaks for the wealthy. Tax breaks for the biggest corporations and the wealthiest few. People who didn't need them and weren't even asking for them. That's not a policy. It's a dogma. It's a tired and cynical philosophy that says there's nothing this nation can do or should do for workers without health care, for that single mom who's struggling, for children in crumbling schools, for families who are losing their homes. That's basically the philosophy we've been hearing for 7.5 years.
And to ensure that we are not doomed to repeat a cycle of bubble and bust again and again and again, we need to address not only the immediate crisis in the housing market, we also need to create a 21st century regulatory framework, and we need to pursue a bold opportunity agenda for the American people.
Your husband can't. It's the economy stupid.
It is the economy stupid. And it's unfortunate we have such a stupid economy, and the president doesn't seem to pay much attention to what's going on. There is no sense of urgency. You know, the unemployment numbers are going up. More and more people are losing their homes to foreclosure. You know, we owe all this money to everybody in the world. We borrow money from the Chinese to buy oil from the Saudis, which is not exactly a smart strategy. And we just see our, middle class really deteriorating under all of this stress. And the president doesn't seem to want to deal with it. And I'm just hoping we can survive until he's finally gone on January 20th, 2009.
Let's talk about where we are now with bankruptcy. We need urgently to have bankruptcy reform in order to get the kind of options available for homeowners. In addition to what I want to do, which is the moratorium on foreclosures for 90 days to see what we can do to work them out, and freezing interest rates for 5 years, and making the mortgage industry more transparent.
Emergency room health care is the most expensive. We should have a Walmart or another large place that has a walk-in clinic. Also, I do not believe in mandates. Look, I believe that every American should have affordable and available health care, and I'd like to talk just an additional minute about that. But I'm not going to mandate that they do. I want every American to have affordable and available education, but I'm not going to mandate that they do. I want every American to have affordable and available housing, but I'm not going to mandate that they do. And obviously mandates mean that you're going to ratchet up the costs rather dramatically.
The very first promise I made on this campaign was that as president, I will sign a universal health care plan into law by the end of my first term in office. Today, I want to lay out the details of that plan, a plan that not only guarantees coverage for every American, but also brings down the cost of health care and reduces every family's premiums by as much as $2,500.
This is not a problem that gets better by ignoring it. And I think that the plan I've put forward, the American Health Choices Plan, really does provide the right balance between individual responsibility, employer responsibility, drug and insurance company responsibility, as well as government responsibility. And if you look at the amount of money that we can save and redirect in the system, and everyone knows it's there, I think my plan is very fiscally responsible.
should implement more effectively the No Child Left Behind Act so that we can have much better performance out of K through 12. Choice and competition. I believe in charter schools. I believe in homeschooling. I believe in vouchers. I believe in rewarding good teachers' performance. I believe in funding federal responsibilities. I believe that No Child Left Behind needs to be fixed, but it was a good beginning.
The federal government's role in elementary and secondary education. I believe that the federal government, since most of the funding comes from state and local sources, should not be significant. But I also believe, and I think this is really the thrust question, that No Child Left Behind was a good beginning. I think it's time we held teachers accountable, that we held schools accountable, that we hold states accountable for the status of education within those jurisdictions. And we all agree that the state of K through 12 in America is far from what we want it to be. And I think that people should be held accountable. I think teachers should be held accountable. I believe in competition.
How can I help kids in their school? I want to provide them with an education that's quality. I believe that choice and competition is the important part of education in America.
Fact is, No Child Left Behind has done more to stigmatize and demoralize our students and teachers in struggling schools than it has to marshal the talent and determination and the resources to turn them around. That's what's wrong with No Child Left Behind. And that's what we must change in a fundamental way. I want to lead a new era of mutual responsibility in education, one where we all come together for the sake of our children's success, an era where each of us does our part to make that success a reality. Parents and teachers, leaders in Washington, leaders in the State House, citizens all across America.
And let's make sure that education remains the passport to opportunity in America. And I want to start with more early childhood education. Let's have more help with families so they can get off to a good start with their children. Let's have universal pre-kindergarten so 4-year-olds get a chance to get ready to go to school so they can be successful. And I want to end the unfunded mandate known as No Child Left Behind, which I do not believe is working.